how there really is something very special about a beautiful woman, isn't there? I think we can all agree that the power of a beautiful face is an incredible thing. Today we're going to be looking at the power of female beauty, and then I'm going to be telling you why I am pleased to, now that I am aging, that I am not beautiful. As you saw in that short video clip I shared at the front, the power of a beautiful woman just walking down the street is basically undeniable. And I know the old adage, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and yes, we all have preferences when it comes to what we find attractive, but in this segment we're going to be talking about undeniable beauty. You know, think of the 90s supermodels like Claudia Schiffer, Cindy Crawford, Naomi Campbell. Totally undeniable beauty that if they walked into the room, literally every head would turn. Their beauty transcends race, sexual preference, sexual orientation, attractiveness preference. Everyone can categorically agree that these women are beautiful. And with that beauty comes power. I found this very interesting article in Psychology Today, title being The Surprising Power of a Beautiful Face. And they have found in their research that the first impressions that we get when we see someone who has a beautiful face, whether that's male or female, we start to make assumptions about them, about their life, even about their career and their family and how they were raised. It's amazing, really. It says, you've probably heard these stories before of handsome men getting away with more than they should, or attractive young women getting out of speeding tickets because of their looks. Physical attractiveness creates a powerful first impression on the mind. So powerful, in fact, that we may go much beyond looks and start generating assumptions about a person's success, status, parenting, and intelligence, even if they prove not to be true. So they then go on to talk about the power of first impressions and the fact that our brain will just start making all these assumptions, and it will influence the way we see and treat others. So the influences on the brain is what psychologists refer to as the halo effect. The halo effect causes one trait, i.e. beauty, to drastically colour your perception of all other traits. If you think someone is beautiful, you are also likely to assume they're smart, ambitious, interesting, etc. We've all made these assumptions before, for good or ill. That is very true. So in the last 100 years of research, beauty seems to be the one thing that most reliably produces the halo effect. Beauty is shorthand, a placeholder term for an invisible mental process in which you are privy only to the final output. In 1972, psychologists Karen Dion, Ellen Berscheid and Elaine Walzer conducted a study to see how beauty elicits the halo effect. The subjects were told that the study was focused on first impressions. Each person received 3 envelopes containing 3 photographs that the researchers had rated on a scale of attractiveness: highly attractive, average, and not so attractive. The subjects had to look at the photographs and judge 27 different personality traits. So they were asked to make assumptions, basically, based on first impressions. So they had to judge whether the people were happy along with their marital, parenting, and career status. The results? With nothing but a picture to base their judgments, participants judged the highly attractive people possessed most of the positive traits and possessed them more strongly than others. They were also seen as happier and more successful, better parents, and holding better jobs. So isn't that amazing? Like the assumptions that our brain takes when we see an attractive face. And I know that they have done studies on babies as well, and babies seem to respond more positively to attractive faces than unattractive faces, which is something very interesting. Let's not start accusing babies of bigotry. Beautiful women seem to get preferential treatment. They will obviously get far more male attention than unattractive women, and they may even get better job opportunities and etc. So it got me thinking, what happens to these women when they begin to age? I am just about to turn 39 myself, and you know, things start changing as you age naturally. The body it cannot sustain youth for long. During my research on the topic, I found this piece. I can't stand losing my beauty as I age. So let's have a look at this. It says, Dear Kerry, I'm a 43-year-old woman. I have been married and soon will be again. I do not have children. Without sounding like an arrogant jerk, I am very pretty. I have taken this prettiness for granted my whole life while thinking, somewhat hypocritically, that looks aren't that important. Certainly I've not consciously coasted on my looks. She then goes on to say about her career and such, and that she has put effort in regardless of her looks. It's been with some surprise that as I enter my 40s, I have realised that my looks are becoming more rather than less important to me. I find myself scrutinising women all around me, usually in a critical way. It's horrible. I don't recognise this voice that has suddenly taken over my head at all. It picks apart young women and derides older women. No woman, it seems, is spared from this internal critical monologue. As for women over 50, forget it. I see them dressed up or getting their hair done at my salon and think, why does she bother? Ooh, harsh. I have always been somewhat low maintenance. No makeup, simple hair, very little fuss. I like nice clothes, but I frequently wear jeans and the kind of clothing you can find at REI. I don't know what that is. I do not dress to call attention to myself, and I've never consciously tried to appear sexy. When the Botox craze first came to light, I was horrified that women would do that to themselves. I've always been pretty disdainful of plastic surgery too. And now suddenly I'm buying magazines about just these procedures, surfing the net late into the night, eagerly looking at all the things I can do to myself to preserve my looks. I don't understand this at all. It makes me feel miserable about myself. And then I project that misery out onto the world and find myself making up reasons to resent young women and the men who are attracted to them. Which is silly. I don't blame men my age for being attracted to women half their age. I certainly can appreciate the beauty of a guy half my age. I've dated a few. It's interesting that she makes that point because we know that generally speaking, as women age, the men they're attracted to sort of follows the same trajectory. But with men, they tend to be mostly attracted to women around the age of 20, regardless of how old they get. She continues. Is it death that I'm afraid of, or just aging and losing the power of my beauty? The power of being the centre of attention even when I don't seek it? And if it's the latter, well, why are all my many accomplishments suddenly not enough? My boyfriend is 2 years younger than me. He's very good looking, but looks his age. I have studied the signs of aging on his face and feel nothing but affection for them. His crow's feet and sun damage do not detract from his appeal. In my view, why can't I relax and assume that other people can be as forgiving towards my signs of aging as I am towards theirs? Yes, another interesting point. Generally, men as they age are seen as distinguished and, if anything, get more handsome. But I think the problem is that the beauty of women is very often tied to youth and fertility. So women over the age of, say, 35, we start to lose our allure, and men's eyes won't follow us the same as they once did because we don't have that youth and fertility look anymore. And it's not the men's fault, it's biology at the end of the day. But yeah, you can't help but feel a little bit hurt if you're not getting that male attention anymore the way you could. Even, like, I'm married, I'm not looking for male attention, but when you have had male attention for most of your life and then it starts to ebb away, it can be a bit daunting. And I am by no means beautiful as like the definition of like undeniable beauty. Let's have a look at the response. Basically, she's asking, why is she feeling so sad about aging, and it's making her highly critical of other women. So the response. I think this is not so much about death as it is about the loss of social power, and moreover, the loss of a certain daily vitamin of high regard that sustains and energizes the beautiful. 100%. And it brings me on to a model called Polina Poroskova, and I found this article in People magazine, Now, Paulina, she was a model. She was married to a rock star, so she's in the public eye. And she's written this piece about why aging in the public eye sucks. So she speaks out about getting older, and she's not holding back. It's a full-time job. There's a lot of maintenance required. She adds, it sucks when your entire life has consisted of looking good. Aging publicly, in a word, sucks. It's not for the faint-hearted. Now, here is a picture of Paulina when she was young, and she was indeed very beautiful, and she's still very beautiful now that she's in her 50s. It's just a different kind of beauty. Generally speaking, the beauty of women is synonymous with youth. And we can still appreciate a beautiful woman who is older, but it's just a different kind of thing. A beautiful older woman walking down the street is not going to garner the same attention as a young woman who's beautiful walking down the street. And it is what it is. It's a shame, but that's biology and life, and youth and beauty has always been currency. So she explains it's challenging to find a balance between looking like the most beautiful version of herself without fixing too much and not looking the same. You're not quite sure what age you look, or you let yourself age and then you have to battle with your ego. Okay, nobody's looking at me. People are making fun of what I look like now. Or, hey, look at this beautiful woman who turned into this hideous old thing. Yeah, and this is precisely why I am happy that now I am aging. As I said, I'm getting nearer to 40. I have never not wanted to be beautiful until now. Because if I was in this lady's position where I had been like model beautiful, and then I had to lose it and age. I mean, it's bad enough aging anyway as an average person. I can't even imagine what it would be like after having all that power that the beauty affords you to then lose it. I can only imagine it must be like a multi-millionaire going broke in the male world. That same level of losing that power. Paulina is a rare one because she is actually letting herself age naturally, which we don't see a lot in the celebrity world. We've all seen these puffy faces, fish lips blown up, really tight facelifted faces of celebrities trying desperately to cling on to their youth. And they just end up all looking weird. They look like waxworks. So I think it's a great thing that she's letting herself age naturally. She hasn't even done Botox, according to her. But then people will look at her at her age. I believe she's 58 now, and they will compare her to women of a similar age that have had work done, and they'll be like, well, why do you look so much older? And this is the thing with normal aging. Like, I mean, look at J-Lo. She doesn't look like a normal lady of her age, does she? So that's it for today. I just wanted to sort of touch on this topic because it's something that I've been thinking about and I find quite interesting. But let me know your thoughts, and I will see you very soon.